Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about how this one feature in NBA 2K23 could change the defensive meta. So, I want to talk about this Mike Wang tweet right here. As you can see, adrenaline boosts are what we're here to talk about in today's video. So, adrenaline boost will work for offense and defense. We have this clip right here, iPod posted it, it's just pretty much 2K content, so it's not like anything copyrighted or anything, but check this out. This is what I'm talking about. Lonzo Ball's stamina meter. Now, this isn't any hard goes. What Mike Wang kind of established this as is more of like a when the ball handler goes super hard one way or super hard the other way, aka speed boosting, or just long runs, we'll call it as well. It's going to drain your stamina really hard. You get 3 of them per possession. It doesn't reset on anything except for the shot clock. I'm not sure if maybe a pass right here and then a pass back would reset it either. But long story short, as you can see, Lonzo Ball's stamina is going to go away super fast. So what this tells me, and the fact they have the adrenaline boost in, is that it's going to be very easy to guard point guards. Now, that depends on the movement as well. It depends on the speed ratio. If taller defenders, once again, only have 77 speed, and then the small guards have like 99 speed with ball, that's a whole different story. But we'll see with the builder. But long story short, what I want to talk about in today's video is how this change right here of the adrenaline boost, not to mention the fact that, as we see in the tweet, this is going to also be implemented for defense. So he says we're also going to support boosts on defense. Steal and block attempts will cost a boost. I want to talk about how this changes the defensive meta so heavily in my brain. Now, some people disagree. Some comp point guards, or even AK himself, my point guard that I play with, disagrees. He thinks size defense is really garbage. He thinks it's not going to be on anything. And me personally, I think this is huge for size defense. Now, let me explain why I feel that way. Alright, so let me take you guys back to the golden days, 2K20, my favorite game probably, besides 2K17, but competitively probably 2K20, this is my absolute favorite. Now I want to talk about sides defense and how this will encourage, like for instance, having 2 tall defenders. So Dope right here on the right side of the screen has a 6'8" pure lock. Me right here on the left side, I have a 6'9" finisher. It was a red and blue pie chart. So both very competent, good defenders, really athletic, really tall, really long. And you can be able to guard the bigs and you can guard the guard. Easy, easy, easy. And this is what I loved about sides defense and why people in the comp stage said it was invalid to run sides D with 2 small lockdowns like this, because what people used to say is that I can't run a 6'9" into big man. It's not like valid. It doesn't count. It's too unfair to be able to have 2 competent defenders like this, and they wanted you to at least have a 6'10" pure big, pretty much, and just be super clunky and slow so that they could fish for matchups and be able to ISO you. But when you don't have that situation, this is where you have 2 elite on-ball defenders and 2 elite backside defenders. So what I want to talk about for the adrenaline boost is, let's say Dope was pressing this guard up the court and maybe burned like 1 or 2 of his adrenaline boosts. What the guard is always going to do, generally, is fish for that mismatch. So you as the backside defender now are still very competent in terms of guarding that PG. So check this out. Now Dope has burned 2 of his adrenaline boosts. He's losing steal rating, he's losing block rating as we speak. Now, because of that, it's going to be allowing me to switch onto this guard, and now I have 3 adrenaline boosts. Dope has 1, but the guard is still generally always, like I said, going to run toward the mismatch, try and force me onto him, and then boom. Like I said, we're getting a better matchup at that point anyway because I have my adrenaline boost and Dope doesn't. So if this is the case, and if you have max adrenaline boost, it's really going to provoke your steal rating to being pretty high or stealable. I don't see why 2K wouldn't do that, and we'll have to see how the gameplay works. But again, I feel like the adrenaline boost stuff, it's going to provoke size defense so well, because now you can use 2 sets of adrenaline boost going for steals. Now, I understand when you hear me say stuff like this, you think it's me encouraging spamming and stuff like that. But not to mention that if you still conserve them, you're still going to be very good for chase down blocks too. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So again, I don't want to stick on the 2K20 gameplay for too long, but I just want to showcase to you how sides defense really can work in a game where guards aren't just literally jitterbugs of moving literally like 50 miles an hour while your defensive players move at like 2 miles an hour. Because in this game, I gotta say, of 2K22 next gen and current gen, defensive players just move so freaking slow in comparison to offense, and that was not the case in 2K20. Defensive players moved plenty fast. You have things like this that I want to talk about, where if the adrenaline boost run low on a point guard, he's maybe low on stamina or out of the adrenaline boost, and he can't really do anything viably that demands 2 defenders. Because in 2K22, 2K21, current next gen, whatever the case may be, it really demands 2 people to guard this point guard, and you just kind of give up 2s for free. It's a stupid way of playing the game. When offense is that OP in a point guard's hands, it really is a bad game if you ask me. Now, 2K20 was a great game in my opinion, opinion, where you can't just give up free wide open 2-point shots, because these things will add up. It's not that easy to play offense when the defensive players are so elite. So stuff like this adds up, and boom, I mean, Hall of Fame Intimidator gives you a couple good shots at it. And now they have like 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Big man's not trying to shoot a mid-range jump shot. As you can see, defensive leader was showing me his percentages as well. Now we can just play some pretty good defense with low shot clock, and I'm able to get back to the box out, rebound, Dope gets the block. Really good defensive game. And again, I think all of this really, I must say, preaches and begs for really good sides defense to be in the game. And real quick, I want to showcase an actual example from when we're on offense. This is what front back defense looks like. If you can get that lockdown reeling, this big man has to pay attention to me, because once again, we're playing a good game, not one of these last two games where you kind of just double team the point guard to give up free twos. Because man, I gotta tell you, offense is not that easy in this game right here. So this guy cannot give me a free 2-point shot, especially with my fast, really mobile big man right here. It's gonna add up, man, especially with how many good stops we're gonna be able to get. In this game of 2K20, you're able to get like probably 3 to 4 stops at least in a stage game, as long as you had pretty solid defense. So right here, big man's paying too much mind to the 2-point shot, and we just get a free easy 3-pointer, because again, they're not really playing sides defense, and sides really makes you work as a point guard in my opinion. Now we're only talking about stage right here. It's not anything to do with like pro-am or anything, but this does translate to pro-am too, if you ask me as well. Alright, now this is my last clip that I'm going to showcase of this. It's nothing really talking about the adrenaline boost giving sides defense a real perk or anything like that, but this I just want to talk about just good defense in general. So there's 5 seconds left on the clock. One could say that Dope should just fight through this, because you can definitely hang for 5 seconds and it's not gonna be a problem. But check this out. This is what me and Dope used to call pre-switching. This is what I feel like I kind of invented an extent to the 2K community. It's not like this isn't a thing in the NBA, but I definitely take NBA things and implement it into 2K before anybody else does. But anyway, pre-switch. This is going to be Dope dropping back on the big man, because the guard is clearly running to my side of the screen, and now I'm going to be able to guard him, and now they don't have any free slip. This is the thing, man. Like I said, sides defense allows you to do stuff like this. If you aren't playing sides, the guard has to, like the lock guard, I should say, the one who's going to constantly guard the point guard, he has to fight through the screen, and all I could do is maybe play hedge defense, and Kitchen, our point guard, can't drop down for the rebound. So when you have only one person on the court who can account for that big man, it makes it so rebounding and long running off a screen like this with low shot clock, it makes it so hard to guard. Whereas having sides defense, Dope is able to pre-switch, get on the back of this screen, take away the box out, and just be on the box out instead of the big man getting to it first, and I'm able to be on this shot right here. No fades either. I gotta say, oh man, I just missed this game of just not everybody being able to fade around the court everywhere you go and being able to get contested shots consistently. Boom, like I said, Dope on the box out, on the rebound, ahead of time because of that pre-switch. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. So anyway, back to the tweet. I just want to explain, like I said, the fact that the adrenaline boosts are going to be on defense. That alone, to me, really screams size defense. It screams 2 capable ball handlers being able to just play 2 different things. Now in Pro-Am, if you want, you could even still play very rotation heavy. You could just have 2 smaller defenders kind of playing sides. It's more of like a 3-2 if that's the case, because if you're in 3-2, you can keep 2 like smaller defenders on the wings, and they can be accountable for the guard and the big in the pick and roll. But then when the big goes down to the pick and roll and just hits the slip, goes down to the paint, you have to send rotations. Now that's what I don't like entirely. I feel like when you're so strictly relying upon rotations, it makes it really easy for a point guard to start dotting. Not to mention that we're talking about pass accuracy being correlated with like pass speed instead of bullet passer now in this little list of news that we've gotten out of 2K23. So I gotta say, I think having 2 capable defenders around 6'8", 6'7", 6'9", that is going to be the meta. If I had to jump out on a limb and just give you guys my estimation, I'm telling you, I think tall lockdowns are back. Now, that could all depend on the gameplay as well. For all we know, small guards move extremely fast. Maybe mismatch expert gives you a lot of problems because now it's a dribbling badge too. So maybe it gives you problems in ISO. Who knows? But I gotta say, the fact that the guards are gonna deal with really heavy stamina problems or the adrenaline boost, and when those things are out, and you can plan upon that, man. You can give up easy free 2s early in the shot clocks, especially if there's a stage we're talking about. But you can pay a lot of mind to those guards really early in the shot clock. But as they keep on using that dribbling adrenaline boost up and stuff like that, once they get down to like 1, you really could ease off on that sides defense a little bit. Either you both back up a little bit further so that you can still get that big man accounted for for on those slips, because some of these guards, I'm telling you, when they're 3 hunting, they're going to be constantly coming out here seeking those 3-pointers super hard, and then they're finally gonna be like, all right, now we can settle for the 2. But nah, if you're on defense, you can pay attention to that 3 hunting really early, and then don't give them the free 2 after a couple dribbles have happened, because again, they're gonna get really irritated with that adrenaline boost stuff, really trolling them, man. All right, now lastly, I want to talk about a couple of things. We're going to compare the 2K20 finisher that was 6'9" that I had, and its speed, vertical, all types of stuff like that, to the 6'9" metric build that you can see right here. Now, I gotta say, in this game, I believe what it really came down to is the fact that small guards just run so fast, and honestly, the gameplay felt out of whack. I feel like the gameplay was more to blame than the speed thresholds or anything like that, because as you can see, 6'9" metric build right here got 79 speed. My finisher got 76. However, in this game, I must mention, was the 99 overall boost that current gen still has to this day somehow. But anyway, for hitting 99 overall, my build would actually get 5 more speed. In this game, it was even, like I said, 5 more, because you could hit 99.9. So that's 81 speed. Then workouts added 4 more as well. So my build was actually able to have 85 speed at 6'9", which is not the case for this. In 2K22 next gen, you actually have to have like the 6'7" metric, or for that matter, a 6'6" build default gets 88 speed. So really, you get nearly the same speed in this game, but you have to be 3 inches shorter. I don't know if you guys are following what I'm saying, but 6'6" in 2K22 equals 88 speed. 6'9" in 2K20 equaled 85 speed, and that's even a finisher. I think the pure red got like 88 or something like that instead of 85. But regardless, that's kind of my point. We have to see how the gameplay works and how it looks, how the builder looks and stuff like that as well. Honestly, if the builder is something where taller locks actually get more speed than they have in the last couple of years, that's for sure going to mean size defense to me. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to see how the gameplay is. Because again, at the end of the day, builds like this could definitely hold their own. Not to mention, when I see these stats right here, I just think like, wow, 6'9" would have been so good on double sides defense in 2K22 next gen. But at the end of the day, it was literally just that guards move super fast and tight handles was super annoying, and you still get mismatch experted and stuff like that as well with the shots. So contested shooting was really the problem. I don't know if guarding these dudes in the ISO is truly the problem. I think good 6'9" could definitely hold their own in ISO on Pro-Am. I don't know about stage though. Like I said, I mean, just the zigzag movement and just the stamina. The stamina too was really the big problem, that you have to hold those dudes for literally 20 seconds and they can still shoot the ball. That's like crazy talk, bro. So if these adrenaline boosts work the way that I think they do, and especially with how they work on defense too, I think this is going to be a really big year for tall, long wing defenders. So you can take my word for it. We'll have to see the builder. I would say definitely take my word for it after I've seen the builder. But if I had to give you guys a couple of just first impressions of what I think the meta is going to be at lockdown, I think it's truly going to be around 6'8" to 6'9". Again, have to see the speed, have to see the lateral quickness, the perimeter defense, the rebounding ability that they even give you, whether we have to go small weight or big weight, whatever the case may be. But my early impressions are that I think tall lockdowns are going to be the meta. But anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff. Like always, let's try and get this one to 500 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put lock in the comments to show support you made it all the way through. As we finish this out, I'm just going to put this on loop. I mean, this is pretty quick that people are losing their stamina too. And I must mention, Gatorade boost or adrenaline boost might be in the game for all we know. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference to the point where like, this is pretty extreme. I feel like they might change it a little bit as well, but I do like the idea of the adrenaline boost at the very least. I think it's very cool if as a defense you can plan for how many hard goes the point guard has done, to the point where then you can ease off on the pressure that you apply to PGs. Because like I said, where you could really get these comp guards so good is early in the clock, play them super high, then when you're like hitting the Uno reverse, you're hitting them with the counter to how they play the game. Because when you hit them with that, where you play them super high early in the clock while they're hunting for their threes, then when they're out of those adrenaline boosts or running low on stamina, whatever the case may be, then you back it up or play front back. You just have one guy guard the guard and one guy guard the big and have him play on the backside, go back to hedge defense, or you could have still sides defense but ease off a little bit to the point where maybe he can't shoot as well or from such crazy range. We'll have to see what the shooting range is too. For all we know, guards can't just make 99 3-pointer in Hall of Fame limitless range just off rip and feel so confident in doing so. I mean, we'll have to see what the builder looks like, but again, my early impressions are size defense on double 6'8", double 6'9" is going to look really nice. So anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And stay tuned for more too. We're definitely gonna have some more 2K23 news, ideas, and consider some of the content that I'm doing in 2K23 early portion like this, kind of the pregame. I wanna just give you guys a couple things that you can set your mind on to potentially be what you look at day one. I want you to look at the speed. I want you to look at the versatility that they give tall bigs, or not tall bigs, but tall lockdowns that function like a small big. So my impression is I want to look at tall locks, small bigs. I want to see what those 6'8" to 6'9" ranges look like as far as their speed, their defensive abilities, how they can hold the guards one-on-one if they get hit by mismatch experts super hard in terms of just being like slower than them. I don't know what mismatch is really going to do. It feels like tight handles to me probably. But anyway, that's off video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Take it easy, man. Peace.